Hi everyone, Nick Smith here. Following on from a video I've just done on the roadway program to do with the DIM facility. In that particular project I designed up a project and then we dimmed the lighting to 60% output, and we talked about how we do that. Now quite often what I find is that people don't always necessarily code to the outdoor program and see what impact that has on the design. So what I've actually done is I've started up a project. I've designed it up using the lantern that we used in the roadway program, and got a solution that works. And what I was finding is that the lantern that I've actually chosen that gave us the best spacing is actually slightly overlighting it. So what I can do is drop down the wattages. This takes it down to a 42 watt fitting instead of the 54 watt fitting that we were originally using. If I go down to the 38 watt fitting, then that's perhaps a step too far. So we'll stick with the 42 watt fitting. But what I want to be able to do is to dim all these lanterns down to the 60% that we talked about before, and see how we do that. Now, many of you already know that we have a dim facility in here, and you can dim that down to a lower level to see what impact that has in the design. But as you can see, we've got 9 fittings in here, and to go through all of them individually was painful. So we can use the grouping facility. I've done a separate video covering the grouping facility, but not particularly talking about the dim facility within that. And what we can do is to group all of those together. So what I've done there is I've gone to the user-defined grouping and dragged a rectangle around all the lanterns that I want to include. Now, as you can see, I've included a couple of the green lanterns, 11 and 13. I don't want to include those, so I'm just going to remove those two. So I'm only including the red lanterns that we've used for the highway design. As before with the groups, what we can do is we can change any of the properties by ticking one of the boxes. So you could change the mounting height, you could change the tilt to see what impact that has. I generally, as a rule, I always design with 0 degrees tilt unless there's a very good reason not to, and I'm sure you all do the same. Obviously we can alter the outreach, the mounting height, but we can also dim the lantern down as well. So we can dim the output of that down so that we can see when we go down to the properties of a P5, which is somewhere there. That is going to give us the properties of a P5. Now, practically, are you going to dim to 56% of output? Well, yes, you probably could. I know the CMS systems allow that level of detail, but in practical terms, you'd probably aim to go for 60%. And so what we're saving is 40% of the energy installation in that particular case. And it may well be you want to add an additional contour, say 0.6, just to see how that's tying in, and there we have it. That's the DIM facility in the outdoor program. Thank you very much for listening. If you found it useful, if you could click the like button, whichever side it happens to be on. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be made aware of further updates as they're published. And lastly, if you have any questions, drop us an email to support@nicksmithassociates.com, or alternatively you can tweet us nicksmith1246 on Twitter. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.